So, B'siyata Dishmaya, we are in B'yam Darkecha on Pesach and Tzfat Omer. We are going to be learning today about Pesach Sheni, second Pesach, which is coming up on Thursday, B'ezrat Hashem, a very, very important and deep holiday that is the Torah pretty much meeting the person that was on the path, the person that was far away, the person that wasn't able to be karov, he wasn't able to do a Korban Pesach, he wasn't able to bring his mouth closer to the service of Hashem. And all of those people that need a second chance, a second opportunity, this is their chance. So our goal today is B'ezrat Hashem to learn a little bit deeper about what is Pesach Sheni and how it's relevant to every single person, even those that were not far away and even those that did not miss the opportunity. Pesach Sheni, like we said, was instituted in the Torah for everybody that was tameh, that was impure in the first Pesach, or that they were far away and they weren't able to take part in the first Pesach. And this has to do with every single Jew, because every single person, according to their level, according to according to their higher consciousness, their higher level, and on his most choicest being, he wasn't fitting, he wasn't ready for the first Pesach, and it as if he was considered impure, tameh. He was far away from the light that came down on the first Pesach. Therefore, we have Pesach Sheni, the second Pesach, that it illuminates, and every single Jew can tap into it with all of the secrets that are involved in it and all of the internal content that makes up Pesach Sheni. Lama nigara, the words that they said to Moshe Rabbeinu, those people in the first generation of leaving Egypt, they said to Moshe Rabbeinu, Lama nigara, why are we any worse? Why should we miss out on Pesach because we were doing something that made us tameh, or we were far away? Lama nigara, why am I any different? Why am I any worse? Pesach Sheni is a renewal. By way of the Jews asking to come closer to Hashem, the Jews that wanted to be closer to Hashem, and they screamed out, Anachnu tmeim lanefesh adam, lama nigara levilti akriv korban Hashem. We are tmeim the nefesh adam. Why are we tameh? Why are they tameh? Because they were dealing with burial. They were dealing with a holy thing. So me touching a dead body caused me now to also be impure. Also, again, I don't want to say impure. It's not the right word. Tameh means a lack of potential. Right? When you're tahor, when you're filled with potential, you can go into the Beit HaMikdash, you can come closer to Kadosh Baruch Hu, you can do a korban, you can be involved in the avoda of being close to Hashem. Tumah is the lack of potential, right? What's the highest form of tumah in the world? A dead body, right? Why? All of the potential is gone. There's no potential there at all. Yesterday he could praise Hashem and do good things in the world, and now it's a dead body. No potential at all. That's the highest level of tumah that you can have. So it's still a mitzvah though. Some people have to deal with that level of tumah. Some people have to go and bury that person, right? You have to be involved with that force. But it's a true force, and when a person is engaged with that, then they lose their potential to be able to bring life and vitality and revelation of the source of life in the world, which is HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So even though you need to do it, there's a way to get out of that tumah, right? These people, for whatever reason, at the time of Pesach Rishon, which a lot of them were busy burying the dead from Makat Choshech, right? 80% of Am Yisrael passed away and 2 nights before that, right? So they were dealing with burying their brothers and their sisters and their family. It was a holy thing to do. So they're asking Moshe Rabbeinu, why should we not be able to bring a korban and to come closer to Hashem? Why should we miss out on being close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu because we were doing a mitzvah? Lama nigara, why are we left out? Why are we any worse? Gam anachnu rotzim kirvat Hashem. We also want to be close to Hashem. And even though we fell and we're tameh, we still want to come back to Hashem Yitbarach. So to us these Jews, us Jews in the world right now, Yisrael af al pi shechata Yisraelu. Right? It says in the Torah, Israel, in the teachings of Chachamim, Israel, Am Yisrael, a Jew, a Yid, even though he did a sin, he's still called Israel. If you're a Jew, you're a Jew. Doesn't matter how you acted. So why should we be any different and not be able to come close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu? If we want to come and we want to get closeness to Hashem, we want to do a korban, we want to make ourselves closer, we want to bring our whole entire being closer to Hashem, why should we not be able to do that? And the Jews, they taught all of Am Yisrael to not have Yehush, to not have despair. And every single Jew, even if he fell, he can get up, he can ascend, he can get back to his status, he can come back to Hashem Yitbarach. And this is the depth of the claim that they said, Lama nigara, why should we miss out? I'm still a Jew. I'm still Hashem's chosen people. I'm still part of Am Yisrael. So I fell. Okay, what? Now I can't get back up. I can't come closer to Hashem. And this light is revealed on Pesach Sheni. Every single holiday really is a wellspring. That it's a wellspring to be able to reveal inside of the world that same energy every single time that holiday comes around. Right? Pesach is a time of love, a time of freedom. Right? Shavuot is a time of harmony, of Torah, Tiferet, of beauty, right? Every single holiday has its wellspring that it's revealing. What is the wellspring of Pesach Sheni? Not giving up. Not giving up. To know that there is a second chance. There is still a chance. Even if you fail, there's still a way to connect to Hashem. And every single Jew needs to go through this energy. Specifically in this last hard generation. A person wants holy things. He has a desire to be holy and to be connected. And sometimes he wants other things. And all the time we ascend and we descend, but we want and we have desires and we yearn and we scream out to Hashem, Lama nigara, why should I miss out? Because I fell? It's not a good enough reason. And this is what's Pesach Sheni. Pesach, that the mouth is talking, the mouth is moving. The Jews are screaming out, Lama nigara, why should I miss out? Why am I any different? And we ask from Hashem rachamim, we ask for Hashem some mercy. Tikraveni elecha gam ani rotze leakriv korban Hashem. Bring me closer to you. I also want to bring a korban to you, Hashem. I also want to be close to you, Hashem. Bring me closer. And Hashem Yitbarach receives this tshuva. He receives this yearning, this kisufim, and he opens up an opening, a gateway, and a process called Pesach Sheni, which is a process of tshuva. And it's a process of an internal revelation beyond the set paths and beyond the journey, the ways that have already been created. Right? It was a true question. It wasn't from Moshe Rabbeinu. It wasn't from Hashem. It was the Jews that said, "Hey, I missed out. Why should I miss out? I don't want to miss out." Right? It came from it was an entrepreneurial. It was a startup holiday. Right? Why should I be left out? What's the problem? Okay, so I missed the first one. Let me get another one. Chametz u'matzah imo bevayit. Therefore, in Pesach Sheni, there's no prohibition for bayi raev, bayi matzeh. You're not allowed to see chametz in your house. There's nothing like that. It's Pesach, so why are we allowed to have chametz? Why on Pesach Sheni we don't say only matzah? Right? They don't have an isur to see it. Ela chametz imo b'bayit. Chametz is with you in the house. You have your chametz with you. But you don't eat the chametz with the matzah. Because Pesach Rishon, it's the regular way, right? It's the clear path. That there we act also externally, and we clarify and rectify and burn away all of this chametz, and we fight to destroy the klipot, the things that cover up Hashem, and to rectify everything. But now, on the level of Pesach Sheni, mitzad hachitzoniyut, en lanu klal shlemut. When it comes to the external aspect of life, we don't have anything called completion. There's no such thing as perfection. The only illumination, the only light that I have on Pesach Sheni is because of what's going on internally. Meaning, since I so much want to connect to Hashem with the depths of my heart, in this situation, it's very dangerous to go fight the Yetzer Hara in an outward way. What's the Yetzer Hara going to come and do? He's going to make a claim against you. He's going to bother you. He's going to oppose you. You want to connect to Hashem in your actions and internally? Who are you? Let's check who you are. Let's go inside and let's start to do a cheshbon. Who are you? Let's see if we can make it. So you stole from that one. You thought about that thing. You looked at that woman. All these different things. All of a sudden, you can't fight him, because if you want to fight him, he's going to fight back, and then we're already dealing with chitzoniyut. We're dealing with external actions, and that we're most times in a problem. Therefore, we so to say leave him in the house. The chametz is with us in the house. We don't go out and we don't take out our chametz on Pesach Sheni and burn it outright. With, so to say, without the Yetzirah paying attention, we leave him in the house, but on Pesach Sheni we eat matzah. We eat matzah, but the chametz is in the house too. The Yetzirah is still there. I'm not going to fight you outward, but I'm not also going to pay attention to you. Today I'm going to eat matzah. So mashal, what's the mashal? Shtei sarei tzava shenilchamu ze beze. Two ministers in the army, two generals in the army that are fighting one another. V'lo itzlichu lagia la'achra. They're not able to come to a certain outcome, right? They're tied, they're neck and neck. V'az ala rayon belibo shel echad mehem. Then one of them had an idea in his heart, and he made himself as if he's running away, as if he's retreating from the battle. Aval bad bevad uba le'arov mikivun acher. But really what he's doing is he's coming to set up an ambush from a different direction. And the other side, when he sees, the other general sees, the enemy camp is retreating, he thinks, he ran away. So he goes to chase after him from a feeling of victory, of I got him, look, he's running away. So he goes to chase after him. And because he felt like he was the victor, he felt like he was the dominant one, he wasn't careful of the ambush that was waiting for him. And then the other general beat him, right? Because he wasn't really running away, he was just setting it up an ambush. They let their pride get involved, so then they went crazy, and let's charge, and they fell right into a trap. So too, it's the same thing with us. We sort of say we leave the chametz inside the house, but really, we're eating matzah and we're elevating. We're going higher and higher and higher. We're not running away by leaving you in the house. You're there, but I'm eating matzah. I'm continuing to grow internally. The depth here is, there's a way of victory and full cleaning out of the house, internally and externally. And that's Pesach Rishon. That you do the physical work and you do the spiritual work. You take your house and you clean it out of chametz. You burn the chametz. That's a physical act, right? And internally you also do the work of burning your chametz, right? Which is the main thing that you need to do, right? But whoever wasn't successful then in Pesach Rishon, the first Pesach, he can't get yaush, he can't have despair, he can't give up from the work that needs to be done. There's another way to do it, and that's to start from the pnimiyut, to start from the internal aspect. Even though you're not perfect externally, you haven't become better externally, and you weren't able to really clean out the chametz from inside of you. What's the advice? Ascend, go into deeper work, deal with the internal aspect, and arouse yourself with a desire and yearning, kisufim to Hashem Yitbarach, and by way of this you will arouse the mercy of Hashem, and He will then illuminate for your heart with the light of Pesach, the light of Emunah. And by way of this, in the end all be all, you will be successful in coming to the tikkun also in your external actions. I mean, we can't always fix how we act, but we can fix what we desire, how we desire to act. I want to be a better person, right? It might seem like that's a harder thing to do, to internally want to be better. But really it's easier than to stop doing all the bad things you're doing. To work internally and to say, I might still be doing bad things, but I don't want to be doing them. I want to be a better person. So what's the practical avoda for Pesach Sheni? And with this we're finished. Every single person has to tap into this avoda of Pesach Sheni. Every single person has a part inside of him, has a level inside of him, an idea inside of him, that there he feels far away. He was far away from the Korban Pesach. He feels tameh, he feels impure. He didn't merit to the first Pesach. It didn't do what he was intending for it to do. The avoda wasn't right. Pesach wasn't the Pesach I expected it to be, right? And by way of this, you have to go into the work of Pesach Sheni. And to nurse from that light. The way is, first things first, to scream out to Hashem. To scream out to Hashem that He should bring you closer. Liz'ok lama nigara, scream to Hashem, lama nigara, why am I any different? Why should I miss out? Why should I not have Pesach? Don't think that it's lost. Don't think that there's no way back. The second thing is, don't wait for the time that you're going to be, okay, now I deserve it. Don't wait to get to the point where you think, okay, now it's okay, now I deserve it. Rather, on Pesach Sheni, chametz u'matzah imo bavayit. You have chametz in your house and you're eating matzah. You still have the chametz there. I'm not perfect. I'm not at the level where I deserve it. The chametz is with me in my house. I go into a deeper level of emunah and I start to touch the highest level possible, even though I'm not holding on to it externally by way of my actions. I don't act like that. I'm not really that person externally. And it's not that I'm a hypocrite, right? This is not hypocritical. I act a certain way. I'm not okay with it, but internally, I'm touching over here. My actions show that I'm this kind of person. Everybody outside would look at me as this person down here, but in a level of where I want to be and where I see myself and where I'm tapping into, I'm on a much higher level, holding to a much more pure way. And even though I can't jump levels, I can't skip levels in my growth, I have to go from level to level to level. You can't just, jump 20 levels. I have to be able to taste the light from that higher level, right? Think a person walks inside a building and you can see up the staircase. He lives on the second story, but you can see that the nice apartment up there, right? So I'm not there, I live down here, but I know it's there. I want to be his friend. Maybe I'll go to eat by him for Shabbat. Maybe I want to have some connection, right? It's a bad example, right? But there's something there that's above me, and that's where I want to be. Right? And okay, I'm here, but I'm tasting from a higher place. And slowly, by way of having a connection to that deeper place, I'm able now to have a connection, to have shalom, to have a connection between two things, and to aspire to get there. And this light, the way that it illuminates on this special day called Pesach Sheni, that this light comes down, and the way that it is, it brings closer everybody who is tameh, who is impure, who's lacking the connection, lacking the potential, who doesn't feel like they're connected, and they feel like they're distanced from Hashem. And from this day, we learn for the whole entire year not to have despair, not to give up from anything that we experience, from any level that we might find ourselves in. Rather, constantly we have to scream towards that level, scream to Hashem, please bring me closer. I'll go into it, even if I can't do it externally, let me feel it a little bit inside. Let me understand what it is. To trust the mercy of Hashem Yitbarach, that I will ascend and I will be better. Everything will be okay. I will reach the level that Hashem desires me to be at. But for sure, in the end, you have to fix everything, even externally. But right now, at the time of need, there's also this way, to start from up above. Right? They're starting down below and they're starting up above. Starting down below means you start to do the physical actions you need to become a better person. That's the proper way to do it. Right? The first things first, you should, on the 14th of Nisan, clean your house out of chametz, burn it, get rid of it, at least for 7 days. In Pesach Sheni, he said, okay, you weren't so successful in doing it that way, it didn't go how you wanted it, so now at least start from up down. Up down means I know that there's a better way for me to live, I know there's a better way for me to be in this world, and I'm tapping into that already. I'm tasting the better side of me already, even though physically I'm not there. From the internal place. To go in this, even though I'm not really fitting. In truth, I didn't act properly. And from being trusting on the mercy of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I will see this salvation. After that, from the way of the light that was revealed to not give up, the ability to continue to go, that taste from up above, I will be successful in coming over and conquering all of my things physically that are holding me back, all of my actions that are keeping me from being that better person. And then my actions will be rectified as well. And then I'll be able to ascend from down, up, according to the regular path.
So this is like a form of tshuva.
100%.
But it can also, I think, I've also thought that Pesach Sheni was for if you're not, where you're not capable for the first one.
Exactly, like these people. Like these people in our generation, yeah, right? Yeah. It's the same thing here. He says there's 2 reasons we had Pesach Sheni. One was the person was tameh, which could be a good reason that they were tameh. Like, right, they buried a person that they had a legitimate reason why they couldn't do it. Or they were derech rechukah, they were traveling and they were far, they couldn't do Pesach, which is the hospital, right? So either way, yes, there was a way for you to do this properly. You, for whatever reason, you missed out on it, now you can do it again. The first way to do it is to physically become better. Physically separate yourself from the yetzer hara, from the negativity, from the ego, from all of the pride, from the bad things in your life. Separate yourself from it and only focus on matzah, only focus on emunah, only focus on godliness. That's the proper way. If you weren't able for whatever reason to be a part of that first Pesach, you get another Pesach. But here, the work is different. Why is the work different? Because we can't mess with the Yetzer Hara. We can't attack him. Because we still have the chametz inside our house, we still have this ego, we still have the Yetzer Hara, he's with us. So I can't go fight him, because if I fight him, he's going to say, yeah? Since Pesach, how have you been acting? What have you been doing? How many times have you fallen? You want to talk about actions? You want to physically fight me? Let's talk about your physical actions. Then excuse my French, we're screwed, right? But if we let him stay in the house, say, listen, I'm not kicking you out. You're here. Have fun. Here's your toys. Play. I'm going to be eating matzah. What is matzah? That internal ability to connect to my better self. The emunah, the things that are above my logic. It doesn't make sense logically that I'm deserving of connecting to Hashem. Beyond logic, with emunah, I'm able to say, Hashem, lama nigara, why am I any different? So what I fell? I fell because I was doing something good for you. I fell because I was doing something for my family and I missed out the opportunity. Whatever reason it is. I fell because I was a horrible person and I acted like an idiot and I went after my Yetzer Hara. Now I want to connect to you. Give me a way, please. Give me a way. I'm not giving up. I'm not going to stop trying to connect to you. Because Baruch Hu, I want to be with you. I want to stay connected to you. Please give it to me. And that's it. That's the situation. That's the whole entire Chag. It's a very, very powerful day because in life we need second opportunities. We need to know that the door is not closed, right? If we think, people in Judaism a lot of times they think, I was just talking to my wife about this. For example, you have women that they cover their hair and they wear jeans. So what is she doing? She's a walking paradox. She's not tsanua down below, she's tsanua up above. In the end of the day, she has a mitzvah to dress tsanua, and she has a mitzvah to not walk in the street with her head uncovered. Can she pick and choose? Lechatchila, no, she has to do everything. But in reality, do what you can. Connect however you can. And don't give up, because if you say, I'll never wear a skirt, I'll never be modest, I'll never be tsanua, I'm not a religious woman, so then why would you ever cover your hair? And then you're missing out on one of the mitzvot of the Torah. There's 613 ways to connect to Hashem. You can't pick and choose really, but you have to do what you can. Yeah. And if doing what you can means that you do this, but you can't do these things yet, emphasis on the word yet, then there's still an opening, there's still a chance for you to be able to do it in the future. But if you're stuck and you say, I'm not going to be this, I'm never going to do this, I lost my chance, I give up, and there's no way for you to do any. And in my personal life, mamash, this was the way for me to do tshuva, that even though I had a period of time where I wasn't keeping Shabbat and I wasn't living the life externally, the actions that I need to be doing, I always knew I was wrong, I knew the Torah was true, and I knew that I was the one that was wrong, not the Torah. The Torah is relevant. The Torah says you keep Shabbat, that means you keep Shabbat in 2020. It doesn't matter what year you're in, it's eternal. I'm not going to change the Torah now to make me feel better about how I want to act. No, I'm wrong. And by knowing that I was wrong and the Torah is true, that always left the door open for me to come back to that truth. But the second you start to alternate and you say, no, that was back then, we don't need to think that way, it's primitive, it's ancient, it's not relevant, then you've given up on connecting to the truth. So B'ezrat Hashem, in our generation, we need this Pesach Sheni, and I was born the day after, so I strongly connect to this teaching as well. B'ezrat Hashem. Chaim Tovim, Inshallah.